This spot.
All right, so unless you're under a rock, you probably heard that president wants Greenland. But Greenland isn't even worried about none of that. Let's see what they have to say about the whole matter.
What is known locally as the edge of the world. For Inuit artist and researcher Vivi Vold, it is a place of retreat into nature, intrinsic to her Greenlandic identity.
I sense that there is more pride now than before. The pride has always been there, but it seems like now there is more acceptance of it. Everything I do is about the land and nature, hunting, the climate, and the way we think.
A statue of the missionary Hans Egder stands over the capital, Nuuk. Greenlanders have lived under varying degrees of Danish rule ever since Egder landed here in 1721. The government is now largely autonomous and is pushing for full independence.
We need to be able to discuss amongst ourselves how will independence look like, what kind of welfare do we want, what kind of democracy, what kind of institutions should guard it, what kind of constitution. We want those debates for ourselves.
Could Greenland stand on its own?
I mean, I feel like that's fair if you're going to become a sovereign place, like, to be able to have a discussion amongst the people who actually live there that's going to be affected by it every day. Oh, I feel like that's fair.
Just 57,000 people inhabit the island's 2.1 million square kilometres. Denmark pays an annual grant of around $800 million, half the government's revenue. There are
Yeah, because I'm not going to lie, dog. It looked cold. It looked cold. I don't want to live at the edge of the world. Sound like we might fall off and disappear. What are we talking about?
Hopes that the global attention now on Greenland will unlock investment to exploit its vast mineral wealth. A new international airport opened in November, and the island's stark beauty is attracting more tourists. For now, fishing is Greenland's biggest industry by far, making up some 85% of total exports. It is deeply entwined with the Greenlandic way of life. Jesper Jacobsen, who runs a fishing cooperative in Nuuk, says Greenland can be independent.
We have fish and we have natural resources, and the Americans could pay a lot of money to rent the northern part of Greenland. They could use it for their military. Then we will have our independence because the Americans will pay a lot to rent the northern part of Greenland.
The only thing I want to address about this is it sounds like homie said rent. I don't think anybody's trying to rent nothing, dog. Own.
America Great Again, or MAGA, hat hangs in Jacobsen's office, given by Donald Trump Jr.'s entourage when the US president's son visited Greenland in early January. The visit continues to cause a stir. YouTubers arrived in the wake of Trump Jr.'s visit, handing out US dollars and hats bearing the slogan, "Make Greenland Great Again." Some locals welcome the attention.
I don't want to be a part of Denmark.
Why?
I don't like Danish. They took children and they colonized us.
That's a reference to a 1950s program by the Danish state where Greenlandic children were taken to Denmark. Separately, in 2022, it emerged that Danish doctors in the 1960s and 70s implanted contraceptive devices in Inuit women and girls without their permission. The scandals have further fueled the campaign for independence. Colonial.
Now that's wild. And you gotta really not like a people to take children from them and then, unbeknownst to them for even what is going on, never allow them to be able to have a child. Like, that's crazy. But I also want to say this. I'll wait until then.
History has collided with global geopolitics, putting Greenland at the center of world attention. Its government has a clear message.
We have said very precisely that Greenland and us in this country do not want to be Americans. We don't want to be Danes either. We are Greenlanders.
There is a palpable sense of growing Greenlandic identity, but the future of this island and its people remain far from clear. Henry Ridgwell, VOA News.
So, this is what I was going to say. You see how wide open that is? Not even 1 million people live there. You heard how many kilometers? I don't remember if you said 200 or 20, but it was a lot of kilometers. It does not look like a lot of that has been cultivated or lived on. Yeah, Trump want them resources, dog. That's bread. Homie talk about rent. I doubt highly that they gonna get it back if they paying real high rent. We'll see. It's your boy Diesel. Like, comment, share. Go ahead, subscribe. You want to stay up to date with what's popping in the news scene.